An appropriate action to take when poor performance is identified in the first instance, it is generally best to have an informed discussion with the employee. In some instances, the poor performance may be due to circumstances outside the work environment over which the employee has no control. A discussion may involve using the situation behaviour impact model to provide feedback, open questioning as to why the employee thinks there has been underperformance, a discussion about how performance can be improved. Where consistent underperformance or an incident of misconduct is identified, it is necessary to implement a formal performance improvement process. Discussing poor performance is difficult for both manager and employee, but the risks to the organisation of continued underperformance outweigh any discomfort. Direct risks include decreased productivity levels, lessened quality of work outputs, and increased management time dedicated to handling issues. Several negative flow-on effects include low team morale, compromised organisational reputation, threatened organisational culture, and increased potential for claims being made against an employer. Common forms of underperformance include attitude problems and non-compliance, for example, a disregard for organisational policies, procedures, rules, and general negative behaviour, unsatisfactory work performance, a failure to achieve performance standards required of a job, unacceptable interaction with other staff, behaviour which is inappropriate, hostile, use of offensive language, being dishonest, intimidating other employees, and harassment. It is important that any formal performance improvement process is compliant with Fair Work and other industrial relations legislation and regulations, as well as any organisational policies and procedures. In larger organisations, it is generally accepted that human resource specialists with a knowledge of the legislation and the organisation's obligation would be involved in any performance improvement. In smaller organisations, it is always advisable to seek specialist advice or information prior to commencing performance improvement processes. The formal performance improvement process is adapted from the best practice process set out by the Fair Work Ombudsman for managing underperformance. It includes 5 steps. They are: Step 1, identify the problem. Step 2, assess and analyse the problem. Step 3, meet with the employee to discuss the problem. Step 4, jointly devise a solution. And Step 5, monitor performance.